What would happen if a millionaire disguised himself as a commoner? He may discover what truths. What lives might he touch? Lucas Martins lived once. He had everything, but he wanted true connections and the chance to make a difference. Lucas personally addressed restaurant concerns rather than sending a manager or issuing orders. Choosing a different path led to a rundown restaurant, a tired waitress, and a revelation. Clara, a strong single mother, raises two active sons while working hard in a restaurant where her passion and warmth brighten even the most mundane situations. She is friendly and makes every customer feel like family, even in difficult times. Clara's trip is difficult. Clara strives to be calm for her own and her children's well-being in an environment where her manager loves criticism and difficulties are constant. She doesn't realize that the silent person beside the window, watching her every move, is more than a customer. What happens when Lucas comes out, reveals himself, and changes her life? Can compassion and perseverance truly transform a failing restaurant into a beacon of hope and motivation? Will their connection grow? Stay tuned for this story of redemption, second chances, bravery, and the incredible strength of trusting in others when all else fails. Welcome to Lucas and Clara's amazing story. Lucas Martins excels. He built a successful restaurant franchise as a small diner with determination and vision. Today, his name is synonymous with culinary excellence. Lucas remains humble, upholding the values that made him rich. Lucas finds a strange pattern in one of his restaurant's customer feedback reports one evening. Poor service, delayed orders, and poor cleanliness are major concerns. He is deeply concerned about this once-star restaurant's collapse. He investigates on his own. Lucas takes a novel way to avoid favoritism and bias. He will enter the eatery undetected as a regular. He wants to experience the service and find the problem. Instead of tailored suits and expensive watches, he dresses modestly. He mixes in with the crowd tonight, anticipating a delicious meal. Upon entering the restaurant, he feels uneasy. His once warm and friendly spirit has now vanished. With a quick glance, the hostess points him to a table. Lucas sits, taking in the surroundings. Several tables are full, yet the customers seem unjoyful. Some people examine their surroundings for help, while others whisper. A server arrives at Lucas's table after a long wait. She appears exhausted, her uniform crumpled. She gives him a menu and requests his drink order without excitement. Lucas quietly requests a glass of water, observing she doesn't look or talk. He finds it unprofessional that some menu items bear pen scribbles indicating their availability. After the waitress brings his water, he orders his signature dish, which he honed as a chef. The server nods and enters the kitchen without comment. Lucas waits and watches other tables. The couple next to them is complaining about their long wait. Staff ignore a group waving for attention. His disappointment is unavoidable. He didn't expect this kind of service when he started his firm. He receives a lukewarm dish without the bright appearance he remembered. The flavor is weak and the portion size is minimal. Lucas eats having mixed emotions. He knows his clients deserve better. Lucas asks for the manager after eating. Though hesitant, the server calls him over. The middle-aged manager seems uninterested, almost offended by the request. Lucas gently reveals his identity. Realization makes the management pale. Lucas stays calm and addresses his worries directly. The management discusses workforce shortages, attrition, and supplier late deliveries. Lucas carefully records every phrase with his mind. He tells the manager that changes are coming but does not offer immediate remedies. Lucas leaves the restaurant that night with a heavy heart, but he stays strong. He knows he must address these concerns to repair the restaurant's reputation. For Lucas, greatness begins now. This is about recognizing the ideals that led to his success, not just sustaining a restaurant. Lucas first noticed Clara on a quiet afternoon at the restaurant. She gracefully balanced plates of hot meals while smiling at each customer. She undoubtedly embodied the essence of the establishment, ensuring seamless operations even in the face of inadequate leadership. He watched her listen to an older man complain about his soup being too cold. She gracefully returned with a hot bowl and an apology that seemed to calm the man. Her wonderful warmth and calming voice comforted and focused everyone. Lucas saw her obstacles' subtle indications with interest. She had tiny shadows under her eyes from nights of wakefulness. Despite her scuffed shoes and clean outfit, she seemed to have embarked on numerous journeys, possibly for reasons unrelated to her duties. She was friendly to everyone, hiding her burdens, but Lucas knew she was fighting unseen warfare. Clara leaned against the counter and sipped water to regain her breath amid the lunch crowd. Lucas was amazed by her resilience. Her poise was remarkable, even though he had heard bits of her private life from colleagues. A loving mother raising twin boys, she balanced lengthy restaurant hours with parenting. Despite hardships, she never showed resentment or dissatisfaction. Instead, she emanated strength and determination. Lucas remembered a moment. A tiny child accidentally knocked over a drink in turmoil. Clara quickly appeared with a towel to help his parents clean up the mess. She gracefully lowered herself to the child's eye level, smiling warmly, and reassured him that accidents happen. Her composure and knowledge, evident from deep experience, matched her actions. Lucas wondered how someone could carry so much while giving so much. The restaurant owner rarely appeared, leaving the workers to handle chaos. Clara calmly helped coworkers, calmed customers, and fixed scheduling errors. Her kindness, resilience, and subtle strength charmed him. Clara was more than a waitress. She was a warm, positive presence who brightened others' lives despite her own struggles. Lucas realized Clara was more than she appeared while sipping his coffee. She symbolized the resilience of unsung champions, people who quietly struggle but brighten others' lives. The thought stuck in his head long after he left the restaurant, leaving a lasting imprint. Clara lived like a tightrope dancer with no safety net. Financial difficulties persisted in the background. Each income disappeared quickly due to rent, groceries, and her twin boys' constant needs. Despite her long hours in the restaurant, she persevered and made ends meet with a little break. Despite her importance, she faced unique challenges. Roberto, the restaurant manager, was renowned for his relentless pursuit of excellence. He was skilled at spotting mistakes but rarely acknowledged others' contributions. Due to circumstances beyond her control, he often chastised Clara in front of her colleagues and clients. She learned to stay silent and endure, knowing that speaking up could compromise her vital job. Clara could not seek justice in this unjust circumstance. Motherhood was a significant role that Clara greeted with love and fatigue. Bringing up twin sons alone was a daily adventure. She ran around making breakfast and lunches and getting the boys ready for school in the mornings. Evenings were like a story, with the rush of cooking, helping with homework, and putting children to bed before falling asleep herself. Clara often felt guilty for not spending more time with them, but she reminded herself that her sacrifices were for their better future. Clara could only imagine work-life balance. She never experienced it. Her shifts often ran late, requiring her to rush to find childcare or rely on her elderly neighbor, Mrs. Jenkins, to watch the boys. On those few days off, she tried to find joy by taking the boys to the park or baking cookies together. Though brief, those experiences fueled her energy. Clara remained dedicated to her career. She dedicated herself to her work and found satisfaction in helping clients and coworkers. She realized that her ability to keep going allowed her to sustain her family. Her perseverance shielded her from terrible pressures. Clara felt the weight of it all. Some evenings she lay awake worrying about the expenses or hearing Roberto's remarks in her head. She allowed herself brief periods of vulnerability in solitude when she doubted her perseverance. Clara always kept her troubles private. Her customers knew her as the kind waiter who constantly smiled. Her sons saw her as the mother who could fix anything, even the worst situations. Life's challenges would not shake her as a warrior. Clara persevered despite many obstacles. She overcame her obstacles with calm resilience, showing that she could lift herself and keep going. This steady commitment made her an inspiration for many who saw the person behind the problems. Lucas had been visiting the restaurant for weeks, subtly learning its routine. He had grown to appreciate Clara's strength, but what he saw one evening broke him. During dinner rush, orders came in and the kitchen ran at full capacity. Clara gracefully navigated the tables, caring for each diner. However, Roberto, the controlling manager, seemed determined to complicate her life. "Does this qualify as service?" Roberto screamed, brandishing Clara's plate. "This is not what the customer requested. Fix it quickly." Clara, exhausted but determined, tried to follow the kitchen ticket. Roberto ignored every word. His loud voice captivated others. "Do I need to handle everything alone here?" Growling, he pushed the plate toward Clara. Lucas felt his body heating up. Clara felt the entire situation was unfair, not just her public humiliation. Her destiny was undeserved. Lucas got up from his seat and approached Roberto with determination. "That's enough," Lucas said, cutting through the dense air. All eyes were on him, and the atmosphere quieted. Roberto glared at Lucas, plainly unaccustomed to opposition. "Who are you to teach me team leadership?" Roberto inquired. Lucas stared at him, a calm veneer hiding a rage within. "A person who knows the importance of honoring others. Clara excels in her role. If you're unable to recognize that, perhaps the issue lies with you." Roberto laughed dismissively, showing disregard. "Do you honestly think you can operate a restaurant better than me?" Lucas said. "I can clearly see that this place thrives thanks to individuals like Clara, not due to managers like you. Uplift your team rather than undermine them." Lucas gestured to stop Roberto from speaking. "We shall revisit this discussion at a later time. For now, let Clara lead." Astonishment filled the air, interrupted only by staff whispers. Roberto, apparently angry, mumbled to himself before running to the rear office. Lucas called a staff meeting for the evening. The employees gathered in the dining room, intrigued. Roberto stood at the edge, arms folded and frowning. Clara appeared cautious as she positioned herself among her colleagues, still recovering from the past encounter. Lucas cleared his voice and commanded the room. "For weeks now, I've been frequenting this restaurant, keenly watching the way everything unfolds. I've seen the highs, lows, and differences in between. Tonight, I realized it's time to act." He paused to let his words sink in. "Hi, I'm Lucas Bennett, the pleased proprietor of this business." Astonished breaths and whispered conversations filled the air. Roberto's once bold stance waned as his complexion vanished. "I've witnessed the dedication each of you puts in, particularly Clara," Lucas remarked, warming up as he looked at her. "I can see that this establishment thrives thanks to individuals like her, committed, diligent people who care about their work and customers." Lucas became more authoritative as he focused on Roberto. "As a manager, you must set an example and create a pleasant, supportive workplace. Today ends that chapter." Roberto disagreed, but Lucas silenced him with a searing look. "If you cannot respect this team, you are unqualified to lead." "Take this as your notice," Lucas addressed the remaining team members. "As we progress, transformations are on the horizon. This restaurant will be a sanctuary that values each person, recognizes dedication, and practices respect." After the meeting, staff felt relieved and optimistic. Clara approached Lucas, thanking him deeply. "Thank you," she whispered. Lucas smiled broadly. "You deserve more, Clara. I will ensure delivery." Lucas returned to the restaurant the day after the intensive staff meeting with purpose. He had decided, and now he needed to act. Roberto entered to a tense atmosphere, still reeling from the night before. Staff watched with apprehension, unsure of what would happen. Lucas called Roberto into the office for a private conversation, his calmness masking the gravity of the situation. "Roberto," Lucas said slowly, "I've taken the time to assess your performance and your interactions with the staff. Your approach doesn't match the restaurant's principles." Roberto showed disbelief and rage on his face. "Surely you must be joking. I steer this ship, keeping it on course," Lucas insisted. "The operations of this restaurant have faltered due to your management. It survived. Your behavior toward personnel, especially Clara, is inappropriate. Your employment with us has come to an end." Lucas abruptly ended Roberto's stuttering response. "Feel free to pack your items and leave. A guide will follow you." The observers were shocked and relieved as Roberto burst out of the building. Lucas had more to say, but the room felt relieved. Lucas called Clara into the office after confirming Roberto had left. She entered with trepidation, unsure of the story. Lucas gestured for her to sit, his tone warm and serious. He said, "Clara, I've witnessed your tireless efforts every day, not only fulfilling your responsibilities, but also surpassing the expectations of this restaurant, your colleagues, and the patrons. Your leadership, dedication, and resilience are extraordinary." Clara struggled to find the proper words, feeling uneasy. "I appreciate it, but I'm simply fulfilling my role," she said modestly. Lucas smiled broadly. "This place thrives because of people like you. Recognize that dedication now. Thus, I am glad to offer you the manager position." Clara's eyes widened in surprise. "Supervisor? Me? I'm not sure if I have the necessary qualifications for that." Lucas advised her, "You possess all the qualifications you need. You lead by example daily. The crew respects you, the customers appreciate you, and I've seen your passion for this place. These traits define a successful leader." Clara paused, feeling uneasy. "But what about my boys? A restaurant manager has many duties. I find myself questioning whether I can manage it all." Lucas nodded, clearly understanding. "I understand this is quite a challenge, but I'm here to lend my support. We will work together to give you the resources and adaptability you need to succeed in this place and in life." His comments moved Clara, her eyes shining with tears. "I'm having trouble finding the right words," Lucas said. "This is well-deserved, Clara." "I think no one else is better for this job." Clara nodded after a minute of thought, her voice delicate like a friend's secret. "Yes, I'll handle it." Lucas smiled and extended his hand in greeting. "Manager Clara, welcome to your new role." Clara felt grateful and determined as she shook his hand. She had overcome many challenges, but this seemed like a new beginning, an opportunity to improve her and her son's future. She felt valued and recognized for the first time in ages. The workforce cheered Clara's exit from the office. Her promotion gave her and others hope. With her help, the eatery had a bright future. Clara stood in the office contemplating Lucas's life-changing proposition. The notion of managing the restaurant was exciting but scary. She had never imagined herself in such a role, and the responsibility felt huge. Could she balance this with raising her sons? What if she fell? Lucas sensed her uncertainty. "Clara, I know this is scary, but I wouldn't have given you this chance if I didn't trust you. You can improve this environment for colleagues, patrons, and yourself." His comments touched her, and Clara nodded after a moment. "All right," she murmured, calm yet excited. "I'll handle it." Clara began her extraordinary change at that time. Taking on her new responsibility was difficult. She had to manage scheduling, inventory, and team concerns in the early days. Clara addressed every hurdle with the same tenacity she had shown as a waitress and single mother. Her main goal was to revive the team's spirit after Roberto's harshness. She arranged a meeting to hear customers' grievances and restaurant improvements. The personnel were first skeptical, but Clara rapidly showed they appreciated their input. Together, We can create a space that fills us all with pride, she told them. Your voices matter, and I see this as a collaborative journey. Her remarks inspired hope. Clara revealed minor but major changes in the weeks that followed. She expertly balanced shifts so no one felt overwhelmed. She revamped the cuisine alongside Lucas, incorporating culinary team ideas. Above all, she created an environment where everyone felt valued. Starting a recognition program was one of her biggest changes. She highlighted one team member each week and gave them a thoughtful gift and a genuine applause. The modest deed greatly boosted team togetherness. Clara engaged with customers deeply. She started addressing regulars by name, asking about their families, and building community at the diner. The word spread quickly, and the restaurant started to see more repeat customers. Clara had new obstacles at home as a manager and mother, but she persevered. After understanding the importance of her growth, their boys gathered around her, often sending her tiny notes of support. "Mom, you're a fantastic manager." She wrote a message and kept it in her wallet. There were several obstacles in her path. She had nights when she doubted her talents and felt overwhelmed by her tasks. Clara persevered with Lucas and her team's continuous support. Every task boosted her confidence. Months later, Clara smiled as she walked through the busy dining room during supper. Her leadership transformed the restaurant into a lively, welcoming space with satisfied customers and a dedicated crew. She found her rhythm, and her team's respect and confidence showed in every exchange. Lucas liked the restaurant's atmosphere one evening while sitting at his corner table and invited Clara to join him. "This place flourishes thanks to your presence," he said. "You've transformed this place into more than just a restaurant. You've created a vibrant community." Clara, her heart full of warmth, replied, "It's because we're a team. Your constant support made this possible." Clara returned to the floor with immense pride. She assumed the post with a mix of trepidation and enthusiasm, but through hard work and determination, she transformed the restaurant and her own life into something special. Luke and Clara built their relationship on respect. Lucas respected Clara's resilience and leadership, and Clara appreciated Lucas's genuine concern for the crew and restaurant. Their shared goal of making the restaurant lively and inviting has established a trusting and collaborative relationship. Their first conversations were formal. They discussed shifts, customer experience, and operations optimization. Lucas frequently offered to carry trays or handle customer complaints during peak hours. Clara liked his hands-on approach, which was refreshing and different from former managers' aloofness and judgment. Over time, their conversations expanded beyond work. After the day, they shared stories from their lives in the quiet. Clara opened up to her boys about her struggles as a single mother and her hopes for their future. Lucas discussed his early struggles as a business owner and his goal of creating a restaurant that would feel like home to everybody who attended. They grew closer as weeks turned into months. Clara saw Lucas's subtle details, the way he remembered staff birthdays, how he always thanked everyone, and his sparkle when discussing the restaurant's possibilities. Clara's strength, warmth, and ability to calm even the most turbulent situations drew Lucas in. After an eventful night, Lucas invited Clara to join him at a vacant table. He said, "You've truly excelled in this endeavor," with genuine warmth. "I believe your presence gives this place its essence." Clara smiled, her cheeks flushed. "Your encouragement made all the difference. You believed in me when I doubted myself." Lucas hesitated, then said gently, "It's not only your leadership that I hold in high regard, Clara. Your kindness and resilience show every day. Your impact inspires." Clara fixed her focus on him. For a moment, their daily worries faded, and they felt a warm embrace. "Lucas, you've transformed so much for me, for all of us assembled here. I have never experienced such a profound sense of support before." Their romance developed quietly. Lucas visited the restaurant more regularly since he wanted to be near to Clara. As they ate, their conversations easily shifted from work to their personal goals. Clara greatly awaited those moments, a welcome break from her busy life. They became stronger as their relationship grew. Their shared love of the restaurant and respect for each other energized their work. They came up with fresh ideas, arranged unusual events, and created a community feel that patrons and staff valued. Lucas paused before leaving one evening after securing the property from another excellent day. "Clara, this restaurant may have been my idea, but you're the very essence of it," he said, emotional. "I hope you are becoming something more for me." Clara suddenly felt calm, as if her worries had lifted. "Lucas," she delicately added, "I believe we've created something beyond just a restaurant." After months of hard work, their trust and partnership deepened their relationship from that night on. They renovated the business and found a deep love that lit their lives. Though their trip was just beginning, they realized that their bond had strengthened them. The restaurant was energetic because of Clara and Lucas's hard work and teamwork. The workforce was happy, the customers were loyal, and the once tumultuous environment had become a place of laughing and warmth. Lucas was immensely proud of Clara's transformation of the building into a community hub. After clearing the final table and darkening the lights, Lucas invited Clara to the terrace for quiet thought. Stars twinkled brightly that peaceful night, lighting everything. Clara, wearing her apron, watched him with curiosity as he led her to a candlelit, flower-filled table. "Lucas?" she laughed. "What's going on here?" Anxiety tinged his usual calmness as he smiled. "I would like to express my gratitude to you for all that you have done. You brought this restaurant to life beyond my imagination, demonstrating your remarkable character." Clara's expression softened as she took his hand. "Lucas, we did this together. Everything we achieved was because of your support." His heart raced as he looked at her. "There's something I've been meaning to share for quite some time," he said, pulling a little velvet box from his pocket. Clara breathed hard as he knelt before her, covering her mouth with her hands. "Clara," he replied, his voice steady despite tears in his eyes. "You've transformed this restaurant. You've transformed my life. You demonstrated true compassion and how to create with passion. I cannot imagine life without you. Would you marry me?" Clara nodded, tears on her cheeks, her words buried in her emotions. She whispered, "Yes," shaking with excitement. "I will, Lucas." Their wedding preparations were a thrilling story full of joy and excitement. The staff arrived eager to help with plans. Their committed personnel transformed the restaurant into a stunning backdrop with dazzling lights, vivid flowers, and personal touches for the event. Clara gently walked down the aisle in a simple, classy outfit, with her twin boys beaming as they led her. Lucas stood there, full of awe and affection. As they exchanged vows in the warmth of family, friends, and their committed staff, it became clear that this event marked the start of a new chapter for the thriving community they had nurtured together. After the ceremony, laughing, music, and heartfelt toasts ensued. Clara's boys gave a touching statement praising Lucas as the best stepfather they could have asked for. In the restaurant, the staff told stories of how Clara and Lucas changed their lives, making them feel valued. Clara felt confident in her new role after their wedding. Clara became the restaurant's growth engine after Lucas left his job to expand their business. She created stimulating themes, community activities, and supplier collaborations to energize the business. Clara led the restaurant to success, earning plaudits for its service and atmosphere. The cuisine and community that greeted customers were equally significant. Clara and Lucas saw the restaurant as a symbol of their journey, their triumphs, and their love. They stood side by side, watching the busy restaurant, feeling proud of what they had created, a haven for themselves and everybody who entered. Their story of endurance, transformation, and love shows the power of mutual belief and the boundless possibilities of fresh beginnings. It was a typical day at the restaurant, but Clara and Lucas had a secret. They had worked together to renovate the restaurant, overcome hurdles, and create a loving life. However, this seemed to be the start of something more exceptional. Lucas gently tapped his glass to grab attention after the evening rush and staff cleanup. "Can I have your time?" The way he asked was friendly and enthusiastic. The squad gathered, curious and warm. Clara stood by Lucas, anxiously clasping her hands and smiling brightly. Lucas started, "As you all know, this restaurant has evolved into something beyond mere commerce for us. It's a family. We've shared countless moments of joy, and today Clara and I are excited to unveil some news to all of you." Clara inhaled deeply, her eyes glowing with emotion. "We're having a baby," she cried, excited. Cheers, embraces, and sincere congratulations filled the air. Staff gathered together, exchanging warm words and eager questions. Clara's boys, who helped after school, embraced their mother with eagerness. "Is a baby brother or sister coming?" one of them inquired with enormous enthusiasm. Clara laughed, playing with their hair. She said, "We'll have to wait and see," her heart racing. As the weeks went by, word grew, making the eatery a bigger community hub. Regular customers sent Clara meaningful gifts and advice, and the crew worked together to help her during her pregnancy. Lucas, ever the caring friend, took on more tasks to make Clara's life easier. They became more excited as her belly grew. Lucas often imagined a future full of joy, memorable moments, and treasured memories for the new family member. Clara appreciated the affection and support she received, even if she was nervous about balancing her roles as mother, manager, and wife. One evening after the restaurant closed, Clara and Lucas sat at a comfortable corner table, reflecting on their adventure and distance. The overhead light softly illuminated their heart's deep warmth. "You know," Lucas remarked, grasping Clara's hand, "I always dreamed of creating something significant, but I never envisioned it would encompass a family like this. You've provided me with more than I ever imagined." Clara smiled, softly touching her growing belly. "You've given me a sanctuary, not just this restaurant, but a life full of love and optimism." Months passed with increased eagerness. Clara's boys were excited to meet their new brother, offering names and planning how they would help care for it. The restaurant was filled with laughter and the atmosphere of a community united by Clara and Lucas' passion and drive. The birth of their beautiful daughter filled their family with joy. Once an enterprise, the restaurant became a lively story of their life together, full of love, strength, and hope for the future. Clara and Lucas's adventure went beyond running a successful business. The adventure of building a tapestry of love, optimism, and mutual respect would grow with each sunrise. Unified by purpose, they believed no challenge was impossible, and their journey was only beginning. The story beautifully depicts compassion, determination, and redemption. Life's biggest changes sometimes begin with a simple act of empathy, faith in another's skills, or the courage to give another chance. Clara's story brilliantly shows resilience's power. Even with financial problems, single parenthood, and career challenges, she refused to let them define her. Her perseverance and generosity helped her overcome her problems and uplifted others. She showed that even in difficult situations, compassion can transform. Lucas shows the importance of recognizing and encouraging potential. His unshakable faith in Clara's talents inspired her to take on a leadership role she never imagined. He showed how second chances and genuine compassion can help others thrive through his brave stand against injustice and supportive environment. Clara and Lucas created a prosperous business and a community of respect and love. Their teamwork beautifully shows how unshakable support and shared goals may overcome tough barriers. Love is a purposeful choice to support, progress, and create something meaningful. As they showed throughout their journey, the story beautifully shows compassion's reach. Clara's story grabbed her colleagues, customers, and children's attention. Lucas's choice to give Clara another chance built trust and respect, affecting everyone around them. This gently reminds us that even small acts of goodwill can have enormous impacts when multiplied. Despite life's hardships, determination and help from others can lead to a brighter future. We can overcome barriers, and redemption is a blessing. We can overcome obstacles and create a meaningful, connected, and optimistic existence with love, understanding, and personal progress. The story shows that kindness and determination can change lives and communities. Love's power and boundless possibilities shine through in key moments of change. Lucas and Clara's adventure ends, reminding us of the power of understanding, resilience, and trust in transformation. Every decision Lucas made and every determined effort Clara made conveys a powerful message about kindness and persistence amid life's challenges. We should consider how we treat others, especially those who work quietly and resolutely despite obstacles. Clara's unwavering devotion shows that compassion and resolve can guide you through tragedy and injustice. With his wealth and success, Lucas traveled to understand the world and make an impact. It is a powerful reminder that true change requires profound observation and deep compassion. The lessons from this story go beyond conquering obstacles. They stress the necessity of seeing potential in small efforts. A simple act of kindness or a sincere message can impact a life or a community. What does this story teach us? Start by asking, who could benefit from your encouragement, acknowledgement, or kind gesture? How can we inspire others? Explore the power of compassion and patience, and use stories like this to promote positivity. Like a story, life's tiniest actions have immense meaning. Be a change agent. Lucas and Clara showed that even the smallest dreams may have big results.